Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 157 of the world's longest tenured Denver Nuggets spin-off podcast. Welcome to the DNVR Nuggets' Serbian Corner. My name is Miroslav, and before we begin, please take a moment to like the video on YouTube. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the DNVR Sports YouTube channel and the DNVR Nuggets podcast channel. The audio version is ideal for your commute or to make your office or home office time more bearable. If you want to support the show more directly, you can become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/MiroslavCUK, just like my Seco tier supporters Peter Plummer, Daniel Lynch, and Brian Johnson. Patreon supporters can enjoy the ad-free audio version of this show. They can also submit ideas for guests and finally appear on the show during the summer. All right, the Eurobasket is almost over. The last day of the tournament is tomorrow, when Team Germany will face Team Turkey in the gold medal game. Yawn. Who the hell cares about the gold medal? Next subject. In other news, ESPN's Pablo Torre has revealed in several shows now that the Los Angeles Clippers superstar Kawhi Leonard has signed no-show multi-million, multi-year contract with a now bankrupt company called Aspiration. Even if that sounds too good to be true from Kawhi's angle, the problem is that the Clippers owner, Steve Ballmer, has financed said company with an amount that is somewhat larger than the deal the players signed with the company. Are we witnessing the reveal of possibly the largest case of salary cap circumvention? Let's find out together. In the meantime, let's wildly speculate on what actually happened and, more importantly, what will happen when the case is completely out in the open. And to do that, I have invited a group of awesome basketball minds, and I will introduce everyone alphabetically by first name. First, one of the two people who connect me with the voice of NBA 2K, Tim Legler, the producer of ALLCITY, All NBA show. It's James. Welcome back to the show, James.
Hey, buddy. Thanks for having me again, man.
So tell me, what other traits do you have in common with Jimmy Harden other than wanting people to call you James?
I guess technically a beard. I don't know, man. That might be the extent of it. I think his exploits outside of the basketball court are a little different, and same with on. So yeah, not much.
So not much of a foul baiter then.
Oh no, I play nothing but with honest integrity when I'm on the court, man.
This is why you are in the right supporters group and not some sort of Clippers fan. Okay, next, possibly the relative of the Nuggets legend Blair Rasmussen, the Denver Nuggets sicko diehard extraordinaire, and the lead guitarist of the band called Rope on Fire. It's Patrick Rasmussen. Welcome back to the show, Pat.
Oh, sorry, I was scratching my toe just then. I'm sorry, I apologize.
Thank you for coming back, and thank you for showing up in a scenery that looks like a scene from a Terry Gilliam movie.
Hey, it's a huge compliment. I love Terry Gilliam. Just giving the people what they want.
So do I. So the NBA season is in its winter sleep. Does that mean your internet activity with other teams' fans is on hold too?
Oh, I think I was on your show about this time last year, and I told you the same thing. In the summer months, I just completely detached from basketball altogether. I have been following EuroLeague and the box scores and stuff, but I have to detach so that I can be there fully when the season's going on, or else you run out of steam.
So you are enjoying your vacation time, which sounds awesome, because the season is around the corner, so we need to get ready for the real thing. Okay, last but not least, somebody who doesn't need to remember when somebody says something bad about Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets because he bookmarks everything. It's Wade. Welcome back to the show, Wade.
Yeah, thanks for having me back. I appreciate it.
So did you see any disrespectful behavior during the Eurobasket against our guys, or is everybody on NBA vacation side?
Yeah, actually, I didn't see. I saw a couple of things, but it wasn't. It was related to the Eurobasket kind of stuff. Nothing that came back to the Nuggets. So, but yeah, but like Pat said, I'm kind of just in vacation mode myself. So just waiting for the season to come around. So I probably missed a bit.
I'm really enjoying the glow up of Alperen Şengün because everybody thinks he's going to be the next big thing in the NBA, and then the Houston Rockets are not going to play through him at all next season, and we're going to be so happy about it. But I digress, and I also have a mean thing about Alperen. Coming into the season, we'll see what's going to happen next. So, guys, let's go back to the meat and bones of this show, and I'm not talking about Bones Highland. Every year since probably 2021, when I decided Nikola Jokic is the best player I've ever watched and probably will ever watch, because I will be retiring from the sport simultaneously with him probably. I chose one player on the Nuggets to key in the the most, because I believe that is how I get information about the team, than blindly focusing on every move Joker makes. If you had to be as insane as I am, which Nugget would you choose to closely follow, and why? Let's start with Pat here.
Well, the easy answer for me is Jamal Murray, because, like I've been saying for years, as the Nuggets go, as Jamal Murray goes, or that's backwards, but you know what I mean. As long as he's healthy and in shape, he's able to operate out of the dribble handoffs and create space and on drives to the hoop. And if he's not, then the offense bogs down and his defense effort is completely not going to be there. All signs point to the fact that he's been doing really well this summer, and he's clearly connected with the team. So I'm hopeful. That's the one that, with Porter gone, that's the easy answer for me.
What do you expect of him this season?
I actually think that he's going to have a better early season than he's ever had, which isn't saying much because they've all been horrible. But just the connectivity, all the pictures of him around the team, and he looks like he's in great shape. Has got a new hairdo, so he's probably taking things more seriously. And if that's the case, then we're definitely going to be a lot better off in the early season. We got to bank some early wins in order to be in good placement later on. So that's what I want.
Wade, do you agree with Pat about Jamal Murray's start to the season, or expected start to the season?
Yeah, I would hope that he takes a different approach this year, just given his track record and kind of the injuries that plague him late in seasons. So I would hope that he has a different approach. He comes in better shape and tries to hit the ground running, because his play helps the rest of the team. Jokic specifically, in the playoffs last year, it kind of felt like, Jokic started missing some easy ones and some shots that he usually made. And my first thought is just fatigue of just having to do just a little bit more throughout the season. So yeah, I would kind of hope that, Jamal sees that and everybody around the team sees that, the strength in numbers and, doing what you can to lessen the load for everybody else.
James, we have this hope of Jamal starting the season well for the past 9 seasons. Well, he did miss one whole season because of the injury. And I always thought that, public pressure on him would make a difference because, I feel he is a pretty online person, even though he doesn't show his face a lot there. Do you think this camaraderie that is being built on the Nuggets is actually the right way to jumpstart Jamal's season and everybody else's season at the same time?
I totally do. And I think there's a few things happening this summer that are a little different than previous summers. One, like you see it, in those videos from the Rico Hines runs and stuff like that. The team seems connected, but more than anything, it's a bunch of guys that love basketball and are basketball thinkers. And I think when you have a bunch of guys that really love basketball and are really good basketball minds, which I can't say this without sounding like I'm picking on MPJ, but when you have all those guys together, I think that just breeds like an excitement with each other. And it's just like us. You get a bunch of guys that love talking Denver Nuggets together, and you get excited and it's fun. And I think the same thing's happening right now in the summer with these guys, more so than in previous years. The other two things that I think are really happening is I don't think it was I don't know the story either, but I know he was going through some personal stuff the last couple of years, and some family or personal things. I don't know the details to say it, but it sounds like a lot of that stuff's cleared up. So he just seems more clear-headed, and I think that might be a big reason why. I think that's why we're seeing these videos of him actually getting runs up and actually getting out there. So I'm not selling any of my stake in Jamal Murray's having a monster season island. So I really, really believe in it, and I think we're just seeing the beginning.
This is why I love September. We're all full of optimism, and hopefully it will translate to October and November as well. Okay, wait, who would be your guy to watch specifically this season?
For me, it'd be Cam Johnson, simply because he's the new starter on the team. Fresh blood. It's always fun to see how that new piece fits in with everything else. You look back at like the trade for Aaron Gordon and how exciting that moment was. Like, how would this work with Jokic? How would he adjust his game? The injury-plagued years, and then we came back into 2023, and MPJ's back, Jamal's back, and you have Bruce Brown and KCP. So just that new energy on the team, I felt made a difference, and how they went through the season. So this year I'm looking at Cam Johnson because he's that new starter, most likely. So there's just a lot of questions, and just learning how he sees the game and how he fits. That makes it pretty exciting for me.
James, what are your expectations of Cam Johnson for now?
Kind of going back to your point, they're a little unrealistic. I think he jumps in and fits in right away. I think he is a super smart player. I mean, you see it in the podcast and the way he talks about the game. I think playing next to someone like Jokic is going to be just nothing but a benefit for him. So I think he fits in really quickly. And I think it's a value add right away that we can palpably feel. I'm super stoked. I don't know that you could find a better fit for the Nuggets.
What do you think, Pat?
Well, I think like James said earlier, it's hard to say anything good about Cam Johnson without comparing it to MPJ. The thing is, his BBIQ is just not in the same ballpark. He doesn't get lost in secondary rotations defensively. He's not going to just be confused out there. He may not be like a star defensive player, but he's a very good one. And that's just not who MPJ was. There's really one difference, and that's MPJ is a slightly better jump shooter, but it's really not a big enough difference to make up all the other things that I think Johnson will bring.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to add to it. My big question for him is how healthy will he be, or how many games he'll play, because he hasn't hit 60 games played in like 4 or 5 seasons now. So that's another thing I'm looking out for. Like, how available will he be for the team this year?
He didn't have any real injuries. It was playing for
some tanking and stuff was involved. Yeah, but it's just
it's definitely a concern. It's just not one that I have. I'm not too worried about that.
Okay, I think we all agree that Jamal and Cam Johnson are probably the top 2 picks everybody would have when it comes to this. So, James, what was your third pick when it comes to a guy to closely watch?
Yeah, I went a little deeper on this one, and I know he's going to play a lot less than the first 2 guys, but I'm really interested to see what Day'Ron Holmes does. I think that he may not play a super pivotal part in this season with the team, but I want to start to see the trajectory of what he's going to do. And there's specifically a few things that I'm interested in. Like, one's the easy one, it's the 3-point shooting. I had to look it up, but at Dayton, he shot 14.3%, 31.6%, and 38.6%. So pretty significant increases. And I want to see if that increases as he continues in the NBA. I think that often that's the case, but almost as frequently it's not the case. So to see if that's real, see if his 3-point shot's real. Another thing that I'm interested in is to see, again, this is going to be like the theme of the episode is Dog and Mike, but one of the things I was most disappointed when MPJ came back after a year off was he didn't seem to know the playbook. It was crazy. He was struggling with the most simple things. He was on the bench almost every game that year that he sat out, and he was still having all of those trouble. Say nothing for reads. This was basically just knowing the playbook. So just seeing how well he understands the Nuggets game. It may be difficult with a new coach. I don't know how much to expect that they'll have new things worked in, but you would expect some sort of familiarity with everything. I'm also really curious to see how he moves without the ball. One thing that Mike did do well, just so I can not be totally named a MPJ hater, was he was really good at finding open windows. As players drove, he eventually, it wasn't right away, eventually learned how to find those open windows so that people could pass out to him. He was excellent at that. So to see if he can start to pick up some of those traits, because that's going to be a super important part of his role. Also really curious about defensive rotations. This kind of goes back to the previous thing, like how much has he been paying attention to some of the basics that the Nuggets run, and how well he knows that coming into it right away. I think we're hoping he eventually becomes like an Aaron Gordon, it pains me to say replacement, but eventually someone that can fill in some of those minutes, or if AG ever leaves, someone that can grow into that role. So how well he can do that, I think is important. That's something that Mike did really poorly. I have my unofficial James stats that I keep track of, which are highly random, and it just depends on if I remember to keep them or not. But I'd say 1.5 times per game, Mike would blow a assignment or a rotation that would lead to a bucket. So 3 points a game, significant. And even if my numbers are bad, it was at least something. It happened sometimes. So to see that if Day'Ron Holmes can do better with that, and then I'm just curious about his on-ball defense. See how switchable he is. See how many different positions he can guard. I was really optimistic from college that he'd be really switchable, but curious if that actually translates and post-injury. So a lot of things to watch with him, even if it's only in limited minutes.
Oh, that was a great analysis. And Pat, I have to ask you not only about your expectations from Day'Ron Holmes, but also because you are also the owner of a weird stat in the NBA. Does your viewing of Michael Porter Jr.'s game confirm what James just said about the blowouts?
Well, unfortunately, I had to stop tracking that at Denver Stiffs long before MPJ was, well, about a year before MPJ was in the league. So I don't know for sure, but I think his defensive errors would have eaten him alive.
What about Day'Ron Holmes?
I have high hopes for him in the future, but in best case scenario, he doesn't play much this year because they sound like they want to play Strother, which I don't agree with necessarily. But if he plays, that means Peyton Watson's playing the 4, and Valanciunas is playing. Hardaway and Bruce Brown are playing. So that leaves. It sounds like it leaves Najee, Pickett, and him out of the mix. And if we don't have injuries, then they're not going to play, and that's what I'm hoping for. Is we don't have injuries.
What do you think, Wade?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with both of them. I got to see him in summer league. It's like I was like there at the game. Like he looks really good. So it is exciting to see, but there's just a question of how much time he'll get out there. With all they're finally leaning into the veterans right as he's coming back from his injury. So it's just kind of. It's a good problem to have, because that's what Nuggets fans have been asking for. But when he's out there, and hopefully with that veteran leadership, that'll actually help him while he's on the floor. So, yeah.
When it comes to Holmes, I have to say I would be way more excited about him if this was 2018 or 2017 when the Nuggets were on the rise and looking who their future guys are going to be. I'm just too cynical about having a 31-year-old Nikola Jokic next spring, trying to play with a rookie instead of veterans. So hopefully we are going to get a glimpse of a great future for Day'Ron Holmes. It's the cards are stacked against him, honestly, because the team has high ambitions, and also he's coming back from Achilles injury, which we have to mention here. This is not he didn't have like a cold last season. He really missed the season because of one of the most serious injuries available in sports. My guy to watch this year, though, is gonna be Aaron Gordon. I'm gonna watch Aaron Gordon closely because I want to see his every defensive possession and his every rolling to the basket, just to see how healthy he is, because we need healthy Aaron Gordon this season. It is great we got the sharpshooter in Aaron last season. That was a really nice development from him. But at the same time, the Nuggets are the best when Aaron Gordon is just bullying everybody in the paint. So, yeah, I think, and I agree with Pat, that the Nuggets go the same way Jamal Murray goes. But if Aaron Gordon is a beast again with the added 3-point shot, we might be looking at a real big three of this team, and we might get some really impressive outings from the Nuggets. What do you think about Aaron Gordon, James?
I agree with everything you're saying, except for the idea of a big three. Not that I wouldn't love it; it'd be dope, but I just don't know that a big three is necessary anymore. I think, or the way we used to think of it, three superstars, three big scorers. I think the way you make a contending team now is kind of a big two on the offensive end, and then super complementary others. And I think Aaron Gordon is like the perfect complementary other, and he's changed his game and built his game into all the complements that they need. And like you said, the 3-point shooting was a revelation. Who saw that coming? And the fact that he can add that to everything else, I think he makes him a perfect fit for those reasons. And if he can continue to do that, their chances just skyrocket.
What do you think, Pat?
I think the shot form is changed, and I think his shot is here for good. So what I want more than anything is for him to return defensively to what he was a couple of years ago. And I think that mostly has to do with health. If his hamstrings are fine and doesn't get these small leg and back injuries, then he's going to be the defender that he was before. I don't want him getting a higher uptick in shots because he shoots efficient, he needs to be where he is. He needs to take the open threes. And like you said, bully a little bit down low because he's the only one that's going to do that, but Jokic. I guess with Valanciunas, that's a little bit less of a need, but more than anything, I want to see his defense return for sure.
That's a great point.
Wait, what do you want to see from Aaron this season?
Yeah, also the defense. If he can keep everything else and get back to that 2023 defense we've seen, that'd be great. I think with Cam Johnson here, that may help because he can probably take those assignments, secondary scoring assignments that MPJ couldn't take on the wing. So Aaron can maybe relax a bit more throughout the season and can save that, for the playoffs, and he can maybe take that secondary assignment or even the first, like, if it's too much for Christian Brown to take. So, yeah, I'm hoping that, his health and the fact that there's more help on the defensive end that he can have a better season on that end as well.
Okay, let's take a short break now. We're going to return with some more Nuggets news before we go to the story that's the most interesting for me right now, and that's the Kawhi Leonard saga. Don't go anywhere. Okay, we are back. So we just heard that the Nuggets signed Moses Brown, a 7'2" center, out of Dallas Mavericks. I guess that was his last team in the NBA. He was playing a lot in G League last year. He is one of my favorite NBA 2K players because I love 7'2" shot blockers. They fit in like a glove on every team. This is why Yao Ming, by the way, is my favorite NBA 2K player of all time. But I digress. We've seen a couple of different reports. One report is that it is Exhibit 10, training camp deal for him. There are even some reports that it's a 1-year deal. I don't think that's real, but we're gonna have to wait. I guess Shams Charania is on vacation, or if he's not, it's just the fact that it's a training camp deal. So who cares to talk about it? A training camp deal for the Nuggets. Do we have any immediate reaction to this kind of deal, or is it just another body to put in the training camp? Whoever wants to start first.
I think his numbers look his G League numbers last year are super appealing. His physical size super appealing, but the fact that he's been on 10 teams in 6 years probably says more than any of those other things. So yeah, why not? It's a flyer. Let's see.
I think, like most things that happen in September in the NBA, it's not a big deal. It's not going to amount to very much, very likely. But if you're going to take a flyer on somebody, it might as well be someone who's 7'2".
Yeah. Well, you say nothing that happens in September matters, but the Golden State Warriors have only 9 guys on their roster right
sure
now.
do,
So they're hoping they're going to get some important news in the month of September. What do you say, Wade?
Well, real quick, I think Josh Giddey would disagree with my point too.
It's true. It's true.
For me, yeah, it's just I don't know. I don't really have a reaction to it one way or the other. It's kind of like a we'll see. Like I don't even know what the next step would be because the Nuggets have one roster spot left.
Yes.
And I would hope that they would just hold on to that for trade deadline or buyout time or something. Who knows where they'll be at that point. So yeah, I'm not really. Yeah, I'm indifferent.
I agree with that. Okay, let's now move on to this Kawhi Leonard story. So, as I mentioned at the beginning, it is a very interesting story about Kawhi being paid under the table, but over the trees planted by the Aspiration company, I guess. So, how surprised were you with this story, and what do you think now that we have as much information as we do? Let's start with James.
My first and biggest takeaway is I need to start a tree planting company.
Yeah.
I don't understand how this is worth $300 million, but man, that's what I need to go do. I don't know what I'm wasting my time with this for. No, I think this is something Adam said this on our show, on the All NBA show, but I'm one of the fans that he described there. Like, I kind of assume this type of stuff happens all the time. And we're slowly hearing like these little gossipy rumors. I can't remember. I can't recall who it was, which podcast, but an ex-player suggested last week, like, oh, actually I know this happened somewhere else. I can't remember if it was Channing Frye or who it was now, but yeah. And it just erodes trust in the whole NBA. And the deeper we go down this thing, the more certain I am that it was real and that it happened. So it's just, it's disappointing and it's problematic, especially when it's Steve Ballmer, who can literally spend and spend and spend. The $28 million was nothing. Think of what he gave away to get Kawhi so that Paul George would come. Gave away SGA, J-Dub, and a couple more draft picks, and that was nothing to him. The money was less than what he gave away otherwise for it. So my point being, like, they got to do something about this, man. It's serious, and I hate when people are dismissing it. Yeah.
Pat?
Well, I wasn't surprised when it happened because, like James said, I just assumed this sort of thing has been happening for a while, especially within the last 20 years, where the money's just been ridiculous. But I will be shocked and pleasantly surprised if anything comes of it. Just because, I mean, Ballmer, he is not just the richest owner, he's the richest owner by so far that there are owners in the league that make closer money to me than they do to him. And there are a lot of those, which makes him a majority stakeholder in the company, the corporation that is the NBA. And if there are dissenting voices, he's going to quiet them with money because that's how the 1% operates in late stage capitalism. That's just how it works. That's pessimistic, but true.
Yeah, wait, I wanted to ask you a bit of a different question. What do you expect to be the fallout of this situation? Do you think the other owners will ask Adam Silver to strike down the Clippers, or do you think they might look at this situation as much ado about nothing?
I mean, I don't even know what they could do. I mean, take draft picks away or void a contract or something, or like and then it's the Clippers. Like for them to do all of this, and they got one conference finals appearance out of this whole thing. Like I don't know, I don't even know if they got that. I don't know what they can do. Like if they won a championship or something, or it's just what difference was made here? Like would Kawhi have gone elsewhere? Did another team lose out? Because it's not like they've like benefited like dramatically. I don't know. I don't know what the punishment would be in this scenario.
Well, their biggest benefit was being the league favorite for 6 years in a row, and then
exactly
crashing out the playoffs every time around.
Every September they got mentioned. Yeah, they owned Septembers.
I think the punishment should be that they have to take Paul George back. That should
be in his contract, his current contract.
Yeah. Honestly, would voiding Kawhi's contract right now be that much of a hit for them? I mean, would that even be bad? I guess a lot of people are more or higher on them this year than I am, but yeah, man, it's not a great contract for a guy who's getting you 60-ish games a year on the good years.
that is a great take, by the way, about voiding Kawhi's contract. And I'm gonna tell you guys two things. One thing is what I think should happen, and then what I think is gonna happen. The thing I feel in my heart should happen is for the Clippers to lose Kawhi Leonard, just void the contract, but at the same time count his contract against their cap for like next 5 years as a punishment. That's how I feel about it. This is how I feel Adam Silver striking down the Clippers would look like. You don't even need to take away their picks. You just, doom them for next 5 years. In a similar way, the Milwaukee Bucks doomed themselves when they stretched and waived Dame Lillard and things like that. So what I actually think is going to happen is the fact that Adam Silver is the one who will probably be responsible for deciding what happens here. And I always tend to think, okay, who are his bosses? And his bosses are the 30 owners of the league teams. And I think the bosses, the owners got a really nice present from the player association 2 years ago when they signed the new CBA. Every NBA player now and in the future should kind of hate CJ McCollum for signing that CBA that literally is giving an out to every owner not to spend over the cap space or over the first apron, whatever. So that's the first win the owners got, and the second win for them would be to just expose this as something that's not supposed to happen, because even under the table money is still money. So if they cannot give under the table money anymore, that's another win for the owners as well. So this is why I would expect they would actually help the Clippers by not counting Kawhi's contract against the cap and just void the contract and like take a couple of picks from them and say you never should do something like this. And every owner would say, look what happened to the Clippers, and now we have to behave well and not offer money under the table anymore. Any reactions to this kind of fallout?
I like that plan, and I'll throw the take out there. I think they will have picks taken away. I think if it ended today, with what's been said this past week, I think there actually will be, just because they have to for optics at this point. Things look so bad, and they have the option. This is not like a necessarily a legal system thing where there's the same levels of proof that are required by law. They can make the decision if they see impropriety happen, and it's written into the contract where, as they judge it, they have the option, and I think it will happen. And then secondly, I kind of wonder if this becomes less of an issue as teams continue to grow in value, because there'll be less and less Steve Ballmers. It's going to be ownership groups. Part of the reason I think they were able to do this is because Steve Ballmer's, I can't remember the number, 6th richest person in the world. And he only has the 1% co-owner who was in on it with him, who he's been homeboys with for 50 years. But when you have an ownership group and you have more of a spread responsibility, I'm hoping that this dissipates and just isn't a possibility, because there's just more people listening. So it's harder to get things like this through. And when we're talking about the Lakers being worth $10 billion, there's no single person that's going to buy teams anymore. So I'm hoping that this becomes less of an issue, but I think you're right. I think they try and make a stand. I think they try and say something. They can't afford to have trust erode anymore.
Any other comments, or can we go to the game show?
I was going to say, I agree with the adding it against their cap, for however long they see fit. I feel like that'd be a good example, to set for any future scenarios. I mean, looking at the amount of money, like, that's just, bizarre. You would think like an extra, 100,000 here, there, but to see like $2 million or whatever these payments, I don't know. That's pretty extreme. So I feel like they have to kind of meet them at that level.
Okay, let's take a short break now, and when we come back, we're gonna be in a very competitive environment. Don't go anywhere. Okay, we are back and it is game show time. That means I am taking out my trusty presentation. And as you guys know, you are all veterans of this game show. We are going to start the show with a tiebreaker game, which is a game that doesn't count for winning. It is a game I use to, loosen up players, make them feel more comfortable before I strike them down with some really, really crazy games after that. And of course, the tiebreaker game doesn't count for anything unless there is a tie at the end. In that case, it counts for everything. So let's start the tiebreaker game. And per usual, we're going to do this in order of alphabetical order by first name. So James will get the first crack at it, and Patrick will be second, and Wade will be the third here. I went to Basketball Reference and I typed a couple of letters in the search bar to see which players are gonna auto-populate under those letters. And the way the Basketball Reference works is it shows the guys with the highest win shares accumulated throughout their NBA or ABA careers. So this time around, James, take a look at this. I typed in two letters, LE. So LE are the first two letters of either first name or the last name of a player. And what would be your guess?
I'm going to go on a limb here and say LeBron James.
Ramon James is the number one pick here. That will be 10 points for you. I'm just trying to remember where my list is here. Oh, yeah, I can have it here so I don't make any mistakes. LeBron James is number one, played since 2004, so since Hector was a pup. Patrick, what will be your first guess here?
Well, I know who I want to pick, but it may be a technicality because of the name change. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Lou Alcindor.
Unfortunately, Lou Alcindor is in the Basketball Reference database as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Bummer.
So he is not on the list. That will be no points for you here. Wade, what will be your guess?
Outside of LeBron, I've been sitting here trying to think who else's name has an LE to start.
First name or last name?
First name, yeah. Man, like who could we name here? Oh man, is this am I making this harder than it is? Like
you can take a buy and wait for the second round. Maybe something will come up.
Yeah, let's just do that because I can't think of anything.
Okay, we are back to James.
Oh, give me Lenny Wilkins.
Lenny Wilkins is number 2 on the list. 9 more points for James, who is running away with this. Patrick.
I can only think of two more, but the one that I think is higher is probably Reggie Lewis.
Reggie Lewis is not on the list.
What? What?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see all 10 guys on the list. Wade.
All right, that helped me out. I appreciate it. I'm going to go with Rashard Lewis.
Rashard Lewis is number 3 on the list. 8 points for you, Wade, here. Rashard Lewis played for 15 seasons, so he accumulated a lot of win shares doing that. Okay, we are back with James.
Oh, shoot. I only had 2. I got to pass. I have nothing else.
Okay. Patrick?
Well, Wade took my second one, but I thought of one in the meantime, so Karis LeVert.
Karis LeVert is not on the list. Isn't he LA?
I think it's LA, yeah.
Oh, well, that's why.
Yeah, unfortunately not on the list.
Right.
Wade, Do you have another pick?
Oh,
I don't know if this is a name. I'm gonna say like Leon Pope. That sounds like a basketball name.
It
Close.
does sound. It does sound. It is a former NBA player, but not.
Okay,
on the
so
list.
that's a real name. Okay, cool.
Here is the entire list. Here's the entire list. James is
Oh,
the winner of
fuck.
tiebreaker. So at position number 4, it was Kawhi Leonard, who we
Kawhi.
just talked about
Terrible.
for 10
Talking
minutes.
about Kawhi.
David Lee at number 5. Leroy Ellis at number 6.
Lever.
Blast from the past. Fat Lever, of course, Nuggets legend. At number 7, Freddie Lewis, whoever that is. Clyde Lee, whoever that is. And then legend Leandro Barbosa from Brazil. He is ending this list here. So, James, congrats on winning the tiebreaker, but that does not count for much because, unless there's not a tiebreak at the end, it's not going to count. So, game number 1, the one thing you are getting from this for certain is you will get the number 1 pick in the draft that is going to happen right now. And the first game of the day, per usual, is about the Nuggets numbers from last season. Today, the name of the game is, let me show it on the screen, which Nuggets players had the most games with 3 or more 3-pointers made last season, regular season plus playoffs?
Oh,
So we have playoffs here as well, and let me see the list in front of me. There are 10 guys on this list. 10 different guys scored 3-pointers at least once last season. So it's not going to be a snake draft. It's going to be just a regular draft. James is getting the first pick. Wade will now be second, and Pat will be the third. So, yes.
Let's go, Jamal.
Jamal Murray is number 2 on the list with 29 such games. That will be 9 points for you, James. Wade.
Michael Porter Jr.
Michael Porter Jr. is number 1, and not by a few games. 43 such games last season for Michael Porter Jr. We've been trashing Michael Porter on this show, but he did score at least 3-pointers 43 times last season.
After talking all the junk, I couldn't pick him first. So yeah,
That's true. That's true. It's good to stay on brand for sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Trying to keep it.
Pat, what will be your first pick?
Got to be Jokic.
Nikola Jokic is number 3 on the list, 26 such games. That will be 8 points for Pat, and we are back with James. Who will be your next pick?
Oh.
By the way, Nikola Jokic just 3 fewer games with 3-pointers made than Jamal last season, 26-29.
This gets tough here. I'll say Aaron Gordon.
Aaron Gordon seems like a really good pick. This is how we all feel after last season. But he is just 7th on this list with 11 such games. That means you are getting 4 points for this pick. Wade.
I'm gonna go with Christian Brown.
Christian Brown is 6th on the list with 12 games, one more than Aaron Gordon. So that is 5 points for you, Wade. Here, Pat, what will be your?
This is really tough at this point. I'm going to go with Russ.
You know what? Russ is tied for 4th with 14 such games. So that is 7 points for you here, Pat. 14 games with 3 or more 3-pointers made. Wow. James.
Got to be Strother.
Julian Strother is tied with Russell Westbrook. They are equally good 3-point shooters. He also had 14 such games, so that's another 7 points for you, James. And you are ending this game with 20 points. Wade has 15, and this is his next pick or last pick.
We got like the top 7, right? At this point,
We got all of the top 7. That's true.
wow,
Not a lot of points left.
I'm gonna go with. I'm just gonna say Jalen Pickett. He had a couple of games where he was making a lot of shots. So
He did not have a couple of games. He had 4 such games, which gives him number 8 on the list.
Nice.
Three more points for you. That was the best available pick. Pat, you can guess either the 9th or the 10th guy on the list who are left. Good job, guys.
I only know one of them, and it could be either. I'll go with P. Watt.
P. Watt is number 9. 3 such games. So that will be 2 points for Pat. Pat is ending the game with 17. Wade had 18. So, James, congrats. You won game number 1. The first one that counts. And let's take our last short break before we play the last 2 games. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I had to show you the list of players with the most
Hunter Tyson.
3-pointer made, or the most games with at least 3 3-pointers made. Yes, Hunter Tyson did it once as well. He was the last guy on the list. Now we go to game number 2. James will again be the first contestant because he won game number 1. And James, Pat will be number 2, and Wade will be number 3 again. This is going to be a snake draft game, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just check. Yes, it is. So, game number 2 this season is always thinking about the entirety of the Jokic era Nuggets. So, the question is, which Nuggets players had the most double-doubles in the Jokic era? So since 2015, 2016, which players had the most double-doubles for the Nuggets? And it's going to be an interesting list, I hope. James, what would be your first pick?
I'm gonna stick to the script. I'm gonna go Jamal again.
Jamal Murray is number 4 on the list with 40 double-doubles in the Jokic era. You could have picked Joker, it's not
Oh,
to pick,
no.
to pick Joker because he is one of the Nuggets in the Joker era. But yeah, Jamal Murray is number 4 with 40 such games. So that will be 9 points for you to start this game. Pat, what will be your first pick?
Nikola Jokic.
Oh, damn it. I blew it. Like I just gave away the number 1 pick. That's on me, guys. Yeah. So you remember Jamal Murray's 40 games. Nikola Jokic had 573 double-doubles in his Nuggets tenure so far. Regular season plus playoffs, combined. Okay. Wade, what will be your first pick?
Oh, this is tough.
And you're getting 2 picks now.
Oh, cool. My first one, I'm gonna go with Paul Millsap.
Paul Millsap is on the list. He is number 6 with 26 such games. That means 7 points for you, Wade. And your second pick will be?
I'm gonna go with Mason Plumlee.
Mason Plumlee is also on the list. He is number 8 with 19 such games. So that will be 5 points. 5 more points for you. And we are back with Pat.
Yeah, of course, Wade had to pick Paul Millsap. We knew that was coming.
I'm glad I wasn't the one saying that.
Oh, man, here we go.
Just having fun. I'm going to go with MPJ.
MPJ is a very solid pick because he is number 2 on the list with 71 such games. You will actually see it's not really close who is number 3 on the list. James.
Why am I not?
It's difficult because there are so many seasons, so many guys. You have to count in your head how many seasons who played and the way they played.
It feels like there's someone really obvious out there that I'm missing. Geez, this is a terrible guess. It can't be him. Gary Harris.
Gary Harris is not on the list.
Nah, it's a terrible guess. That's why.
But you have another pick to make it right.
Oh yeah, that's hopefully what will happen here. Let's go Gallo. Danilo Gallinari.
Danilo Gallinari is also not on the list.
Sweet.
Oh, wow.
2 swings and misses.
He only played 2 seasons next to Joker, and he wasn't really a double-double machine, as I remember. So he did not qualify for the top 12. Pat.
Has nobody said AG?
Is that your answer, or are you just...
If it's available, that's my answer.
Yes, Aaron Gordon is number 3 on the list, 41 such games. So that's 10 more points for Pat, who is running away with this game. Wade, what will be your next pick?
I just had one in my head, and it just when he said AG, it just left me. I'm gonna go Will Barton.
Will Barton was for a while the longest tenured Denver Nugget, and this is why he had 21 such games, which gives him number 7 on this list. So that is 6 more points for Wade, who has another pick in store. We still need to guess number 5 and then number 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Okay. Who else can we? I'm gonna go Westbrook. Have we said Russell yet?
Nope.
We haven't said Russell Westbrook. He only played for 1 season for the Nuggets, but he did have 14 double-doubles, which gives him number 9 on this list. That is 4 more points for you, Wade. You ended the game with 22 points. Pat.
Well, he took my last one, so I'm thinking it's going to be someone that either did a lot in a short amount of time or somebody that was just here for a long time, not doing much. So I'm going to go with Fareed on that one.
Kenneth Fareed is number 5, 35 double-doubles. So that is going to be 8 more points for you. Great job, Pat. Yeah, Kenneth Fareed played with Joker for 2 seasons, but 1 season really, because he did not play in his 2nd season. He entered the media day saying he is the starter in the NBA, and then he never played in the NBA again, or almost never again. So yeah, but he did have 35 double-doubles in that 1 season, which was pretty exciting, and everybody loved his pairing with Nikola Jokic in that season. James, your last pick.
Emmanuel Mudiay.
Emmanuel Mudiay is not on the list. Not on the list for Emmanuel Mudiay. Here is the entire list. You can see here, Pat won game number 2. So the only guys we've missed are Wilson Chandler, Christian Brown, and Yusuf Nurkic. Christian Brown, albeit in 2 seasons. Well, Nurkic was there for 2.5, right? Christian Brown had more double-doubles than Yusuf Nurkic. Take that, Yusuf. This is one of my main takeaways, next to Nikola Jokic having 573 double-doubles, which is more than all the other 11 guys combined on this list.
Sheesh.
Okay, let's go straight to game number 3. And game number 3, of course, is everybody's favorite except for the contestants. Can I have your full name, sir / madam? This is a name mashup game where I create a long name by combining two people's names. In the middle, it might sound confusing, so here's an example. God, I'm not able to talk anymore. If I tell you the first person is a former Nugget drafted in 2014, and the second person is the most handsome DNVR Nugget outside of this show, your answer will be Gary Harrison Wind. All three combinations will have a theme built in, so you will probably need to wait for the first two to try and figure out what it is. So maybe going third in isn't a bad thing in this game. So, Pat, here is the first couple of clues for your combination. The first person is not a person. It is a word coming from ancient Greek that spells like this. And I'm not going to spell it out loud because that would be massive help. The second person is a former NBA player born in 1996.
Yeah, I'm going to pass.
Okay. Wait.
I'm going to pass as well.
Okay, James.
Gosh, I don't have a clue. So the player is 29-ish,
Yes.
28 or 29.
But a former NBA player.
Yeah, that former part at that age.
Oh my God. I got to pass. I don't have any clue.
Okay, second clue coming up. Pat. The first person is not a person. It is a word that means double preposition. The second person was a Denver Nugget for 2.5 seasons, and his most recent team is Piratas de Quebradillas in Puerto Rico.
It's just not coming to me. I got to pass.
Okay, wait.
A double proposition.
So it is a name coming from ancient Greek that means double preposition. And the second person is a former NBA player born in 1996 who plays in Puerto Rico right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pass. I still don't have it. I don't have any clue.
Okay, James.
Yep, I have to pass as well. I thought I had the one, but I don't.
Okay, hopefully the last and easiest. It's gonna be last, but hopefully the easiest clues coming up. Pat. The first person is not a person. It is a word used to describe a problem offering two possibilities, neither of which is unambiguously acceptable or preferable. The second person was born in Kinshasa, Zaire, and was a starting point guard for the Nuggets before being traded for Devin Harris in February 2018.
Okay, well, the second one's easy. I'm still hung up on that first one. Yeah, I'm going to have to pass, unfortunately.
Okay, wait.
The first person's.
So a word coming from ancient Greek that describes a problem offering two possibilities, neither of which is unambiguously acceptable or preferable. Preferable.
Yeah, I have no idea what that word is. I know who the player is now, but I'm gonna pass.
Okay, James.
I don't have it either. I'm stumped. You got us, Miroslav.
Okay, I was successful this time around. The correct answer is Dilemanuel Mudiay.
Oh,
Dilemma is the word.
Dilemma.
Dilemanuel Mudiay is, and this picture kind of makes sense if you think about it. He is not really sure whether he should go right or left, at least in his Nuggets days. Okay, second combination we'll go to Wade. Hopefully, a bit easier combination this time around. The first person is a former Nugget. The second person is a Denver Nuggets pundit of sorts.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pass for now. So that's very vague.
Okay. James?
Yeah, I got to pass.
Okay. Pat?
Yeah, these are all way more difficult than they have been. You don't like us very much, do you, Miroslav?
Guys, I made
too
the
highly.
questions like 8 weeks ago, so I have no idea what's coming up. Like I get surprised myself, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to pass on that one.
Okay, Wade, second pair of clues. The first person played for 6 different NBA teams before finishing his NBA playing career in Denver. The second person was born in 1978 and podcasts about the Nuggets from 2 different continents.
Wait a minute. 6 different teams. He finished the Nuggets. Oh, I think I know. I think I know who the first person is. I'm gonna pass, with the hope that it comes back to me on the third one.
Okay, James?
I still have to pass. I'm only halfway there.
Okay, Pat?
Well, I definitely know the second one. I just don't know the first one, so I'll have to pass.
Okay, that's interesting. We have a couple of ideas ready for the third pair of clues. Wade. The first person claims he gave Nikola Jokic his nickname Joker and won 2 NBA championships with the Miami Heatles. The second person is the most famous Denver sports t-shirt designer who goes by the alias D-Line.
Oh, okay. I don't know his last name, but do I have to get his last name too?
Yes.
Oh man.
I need your
What is
full name, sir / madam.
His last name. Oh man. Oh, I think I got it. Mike Miller, Eric Weedham.
That is correct. Mike
Okay.
Millerick Widom is correct. Look at this glorious picture I found of Eric on Facebook. No less.
That's
Yeah,
good.
Mike Millerick Widom. That's gonna be the first point for Wade in this game, and we will see what's gonna happen in the third combination, headlined by James.
I just want to say,
Yes.
this is like my 4th or 5th time doing this. That's the first one that I've gotten in all of
Yes.
these shows.
Yes, we
So I
got
just
it.
want to point that out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Streak is
Okay.
over.
James, here is your first pair of clues. Oh, sorry. The first person is a former Nugget. The second person is not a person, it is a United States state.
Oh, I want to guess one just for fun.
Okay.
How about? There's got to be an easy one. Kenneth Fareed, Rhode Island. That didn't even work.
Close.
It wasn't even right.
Close, but it didn't really work.
No, it did not.
Okay. Pat?
I have a feeling this one's going to fall together in the second round, but I don't have anything for now, so pass.
Okay. Wade?
When you say former Nugget, does that mean it could be a retired player now or still in the league?
It is a former Nugget. Maybe you will get that information in the second clue. I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna pass for now.
Okay. James, second
Got this.
clue. The first person played at the Eurobasket 2025. The second person is not a person, it is the 6th largest US state and it is in the Mountain Time Zone.
Huh.
I just realized the second part of the second clue isn't 100% true.
The sixth largest U.S. state in the Mountain Time Zone.
Yeah, the Mountain Time Zone is kind of a weird clue. Maybe you should just disregard that part,
Okay.
or not. Maybe it helps.
Well, I think because of what you said, I think I have the second one. But who was playing that was a former Nugget other than the one we all think of? I'll pass.
Okay, Pat.
This is where not paying attention in the summer kills me because I'm not sure if he played, but I think I have an answer otherwise.
Okay.
That's Letko Chencharizona.
That's a good guess.
Oh, that's a nice guess. That is a
can
nice
play.
guess. That would work under the conditions of this game, but it is not the combination I came up with. Wait,
Flacco didn't play, so
Okay.
that
Let's
is
solve
true.
that.
He did not play. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
a good
I
guess.
was, I was just gonna try
Very
a
good
different
guess.
state. Like Arkansas or something. I don't know. Is it my turn?
yes.
Yeah, I don't know what former Nugget played in Eurobasket. So I'm gonna pass for now.
Okay, last clue for James. The first person's nicknames are the Rooster and Il Gallo. The second person is not a person; it is a U.S. state whose capital is Phoenix.
Danilo Gallinari, Arizona.
That is
Arizona.
correct. Danilo
Ah.
Gallinari Zona is correct. James gets this one, and since both James and Wade got one combination each, you are both getting 1 point for game number 3. And since game number 2 was won by Patrick and game number 1 was won by James, James is the winner of today's game show trivia game show, and he will appear again in one of the next 3 weeks when we start the second round of the game show, and we will have to just see how the scheduling works for everybody. I will not be picking who will play against who. The schedules are going to say. It's like making a Hollywood movie. You have to adjust to everybody to see what happens. And since James won, I'm letting you make a plug of any sorts or a message to the universe you want for the end of the show.
Shoot. Listen to the All NBA show. We're going live tomorrow night to recap the Eurobasket Championship. Got a bunch of fun shows coming up after that. Again, I think I did this last time, but we got the Our Guy show, which is one of my favorite ones of the year, coming up, where Legler and Mahrez pick their under the radar guys for the following season. So check that out. And, yeah.
Okay, Wade.
I don't have anything to plug. Just once again, just appreciate you having me on the show. It's a great show. It's always fun to talk to fellow fans and talk Nuggets basketball in general. So, yeah, shout out to the show as always.
Hell yeah!
Thank you, Pat. What is your non-political message to the universe?
Well, I don't have one of those, but I do have a political message, and it's directed to the people of America, not necessarily the universe. But it's just, if you can't live without a gun and you live in suburbia, you've probably got a micro penis, and that's just what it comes down to.
Okay, and with that message, I guess we came to the end of this show. This is all I've prepared for you. My dear listener, please, with the cherry on top, please take the word prepared very loosely. Although I do some job on these games, they don't make themselves. Be well, be safe, be kind to everybody. Call your mom, and until next week, idemo Nuggetsi.